Hey guys, welcome back to DMAT Customs. Dave here on the YouTube, and the Area 51 bomb truck acting as a paint stand over the back there at the moment. This time round we're carrying on with that internal sheet metal, and that's that over here, this stuff over here. Quick reminder, if you haven't subscribed, hit the button, that'd be awesome. Thanks, let's get at it. Thought I'd try and get ahead of the game, come down here after work tonight and spray some of that splatter stuff around on the inside of those pieces, so that's nice and dry for the weekend, so I can get onto it, you know, and get on to doing the body work and priming and getting stuff, you know, smoothed out and ready to hopefully maybe even paint them this weekend. That would be awesome. I'm going to spray the splatter coat on these things in pieces, so I've got to kind of make myself a little spray booth to kind of contain that stuff, because it gets everywhere. I was going to hang them all up and spray them all over the place, but I'll end up shooting that stuff all over the other cars and things like that. So that's my spray booth assembled. I just want to, you know, try to contain some of that splattery stuff, so I'll just bring each piece over and give it a little down on the thing there, as you'll see in a minute. But before we go too much further, got me a new one of them. I was buying some paint the other day, yesterday. I thought I'll splash out and try and deal with this air fitting that keeps dropping off every time I use it, that one there. So I'll just quickly change that over, and hopefully we'll be good to go. Need a couple of them for good measure. Okay, so ready to go. Got my new fitting on. Squirt some of that stuff on these two pieces, but I've got to do both sides, so I'll do one side, chuck it out in the sun, and hopefully get the second side done by the time I'm done with all the rest of this stuff over there. You know what I'm saying? So let's get at it. Got my wellies on. You know, if it weren't for your wellies, where would you be? Because I didn't want to get it on my sneakers, so I'll probably make a mess of myself. Alrighty, so fortunately it's like 400 degrees outside, and I was able to kind of do that first, you know, sides of everything that was double-sided, put them out there in the bake oven on the driveway, and cook that shit because it's water-based and it dries quite quickly in the sun. But now I'm going to leave them there just to dry up till the weekend. So that's them all splatter coated. I did manage to get, when off the plastic, I managed to get it on my epoxy on the other side, so I managed to wipe off the bulk of it. The rest should sand off. It doesn't sand very well, but it's just a few little smears, and being water-based, I just got a wet rag and kind of give them a bit of a wipe up. But I'll show you. Yeah, see up there. Nearly got it. Anyway, as I was saying, I managed to wipe off the bulk of what I'd smeared on there. These other bits don't matter so much, they're just going to be blacked out and stuff. These kind of kicker panels that go behind there, behind the door, I was going to paint one side smooth and the other side splatter coat stuff, stone guard. Nah, in for a penny, in for a pound, so I splatter guarded the whole bloody thing. Stone guard, it's splatter painted stuff. Seems to be quite good stuff. This Amiga stuff, I didn't think much of their Bondo, but I like their stone guard, so go figure. Yeah, so that's all that stuff done. Obviously not doing the core radiator support. All these other little brackets, they go between the front guards and the firewall. I think those two right in there, about there-ish. So yeah, they got to get cleaned off and primed and painted and stuff. But yeah, so leave those to cure up till the weekend. My paint booth worked pretty good. Managed to keep my mess to pretty much that, other than what I smeared around all over the place on the back of those, on the inside thing of those things. Just got to clean that mamma jammer out. If you haven't got one of these, a good investment, way better than using Rattle cans. You use a Rattle can, and if you don't use it all, it just dries up in the tip and it's over, you know. Whereas this being water based, I just got to clean that out with a thing of water and blow it through a few times, and real simple if it does jam up. And yeah, that was quite a cheap little bit of kit as well. So if you're doing a bit of underbody sealing, I would recommend getting one of those Schutz guns, or splatter guns as I tend to be calling it in this video. So nitty gritty of building a car, little tasks like this, but makes a difference, you know. Progress. See you on the weekend. Hey guys, so it's still not the weekend. I just finished cleaning out that Schutz gun and shutting things down. Yep, I already switched that off. Now this is, I don't know, like all this body work and stuff like that, like all credit to the guys that do it all day, every day, and do a good job of it, because that's where the real work is in building a car like this. It's the nitty gritty. It's all of the stripping back all that old rusty crap, treating it, fixing it, prepping it again, painting it, and all that kind of stuff, and all the time that goes into trying to make this somewhat straight. And that's the nitty gritty of like building a car like this. Is all the little stuff, the big glamour shot of chopping the roof. I don't know, he wasn't even making videos when I did that. That's what heaps of people want to see, but I didn't. I'd already done it when I started making videos, like I said. Whereas, you know, or they want to see the final paint go on and that no one really wants to watch hours and hours of sanding bog and, you know, putting filler in and sanding it back out again. But that's what I'm doing, so that's what I'm making videos about. I know it's, some folk it's probably dull. I can tell by my view count on my videos have dropped right off. I got a big spike when I epoxied the body, and then, you know, a bit of a spike when the slappers were on the roof and stuff like that. But since then it's been really sporadic, and you know, people are leaving the channel and stuff. And but this is it, man. If you're interested in building cars or as a hobby or whatever, the guys who do it professionally, you're the guys. You know, it's not all glamorous and, you know, laying that final flow coat down or getting in there and chopping the roof and welding shit up and then going, look, I've done a roof chop. This is the work that goes in after the roof chop. I'm not moaning or anything. I'm just saying, like, if you're thinking this is boring to watch, it undoubtedly probably is. But in saying that, I know there's a few of you guys out there who watch every week, watch my videos, and you know, I know you're keen to kind of see the progress and see it carrying on and stuff like that. And so thank you guys for watching and sticking with it. There's more to come. We've got a whole interior to do. Don't know what's happening there yet. I got some 65 Thunderbird seats and my chopped up modified factory seats. Thought I might have a crack at upholstery. Never done that before either. So yeah, but before we do any of that, we've got to keep going on this, and I've got to keep pushing ahead, and keep getting on, you know. Got a bit of work to do on the bomb truck, but we'll get into that later on. So, see you on the weekend. Traffic. Okay, so a couple of days later, probably about 3 or 4 actually, since I did the that I've now got fingerprints all over. Been doing a bit of sanding, and it's, you know, like just prepping this up to start doing any bit of filler and stuff that I've got to do. You know, it just looks a little bit like this. Yeah, so there was like quite a few, you know, hours or minutes or bit of time involved in doing that sanding, getting these and the other small pieces that are going to be that are an epoxy. I haven't sanded the radiator support yet, but so next up I'm just going to drop a bit of filler into these. I don't think I'll bother with the fiberglass filler on this stuff because it's all seam sealed from the back and it's all kind of fairly minor, so I'm just going to go straight into the old body filler, I reckon. Not going to go nuts on these things. I'm just going to like tidy up my seams because there's a big piece, that whole bottom corner got replaced, a couple of bits in here and a few holes that got welded up, you know. Similar kind of scenario on the other one. Got a bit of smoothing out, got a little bit of smoothing out to do on these shock covery things, and then that's about it really. Then I can kind of look at getting these into like normal primer, not epoxy, but you know, like a high build, that cure, rub them back and hopefully shoot them. It's just started raining, so it's like means I can't use my bake oven today, which is a pain, but it is what it is, you know. So anyway, I'll get, pardon me, I'll get a little bit of filler on these things and yeah, go from there, I guess. I won't punish you with too much sanding video, time-lapse stuff, because you know that's just it is kind of what it is, you know. Yeah. I don't know. Wouldn't mind a day on the couch today watching TV, but yeah, I can't do that. Summertime. It's technically 2 days before Christmas, even though this is like going to come out after Christmas, but this is the middle of our summer. Yeah, and old Area 51 is feeling it. Old Flatty McFlat. I really got to get that thing fixed. Yeah, she's getting loud. So I got that door open. It just helps circulate a bit of the old Bondo fumes. I've done my first skim, most of the way through sanding the first pass, the kind of 80 grit pass, then I'll come back in and do some 150 and maybe some 240. I really wanted to get some primer on these today, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. I wanted to hang everything, you know, all over the place, and then just go around and walk around and spray everything hanging like that. But yeah, unless I put the old little bomb truck out in the rain, that ain't going to happen. Damn it. Anyway, I'll carry on sanding. You never know, like, there's a sort of old saying here in New Zealand, you get 4 seasons in one day, and I've seen it happen. You know, I've had hail, thunder, lightning, sunshine, getting sunburnt on a summer's day in New Zealand. That was down in the old New Plymouth though, but anyway, carry on. Okay, sun's out again, which means humidity is going to go through the roof because it's warm. It's like 20, probably about 24, 25 degrees Celsius, which is about, I don't know, something Fahrenheit. But yeah, it gets really humid here when it's been raining and then the sun comes back out again. So, but on the upside, I'll be able to, you know, spread out a little bit and get some primer, some 2K primer onto these bits, the bits that I epoxied, all of those kind of faces. Except for that I'm just going to scotchy, and then I'll black that when I black all the rest of this stuff. So yeah, what am I up to? Oh yeah, I've kind of been through, done all my sanding, done started off with my filler. I managed to kind of get away with one skim. It's like I said, it's not going to be perfect on any of this stuff. It's just going to be hood down stuff, you know. Sounds like a cop out, I know, but there's lots of factory things with these inner sheet metal parts that, you know, spot welds and little crinkles and stuff like that are just there, and I kind of quite like leaving some of that stuff. I think I've mentioned it before. I kind of like it to look like it's factory, but not, if you know what I mean. So leaving some of those kind of factory imperfections is kind of intentional for me on this. It's not a cop out. If I really wanted these all, like, you know, plastic dip looking show rodder type stuff, I would have just made new inner fenders and just had them all laser straight and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, had the whole car dipped in one color, and that's just not what I'm into. So bomb truck, prime example. If you look at the front fender on the old bomb truck, it's got elbow marks and all sorts of crap in that. So, but yeah, so I just got to move some cars around, spread out a bit, mix up some bog and lay some down. Not bog, what am I doing? Got to mix up some primer and lay some primer down, dust off some stuff and things like that. Alrighty, so got 3 coats on these, and I just did 2 on those. There's probably a few blemishes in that. There's heaps of like factory ripples in those splash pan things, but they're just, you know, they're down low and whatnot anyway, so I didn't worry about straightening them out too much. Found a few things I'd missed on this, obviously, like, you know, there's dents and dings and shit like that in there, but it's all going to be kind of like hidden under cool air vents and battery trays and stuff like that anyway. I know I should take the pride and do it all super straight, but I'm not going to, so it'll be okay. Like in here, I had trouble sanding in there anyway, but not too fussed about it. But yeah, by the time we kind of lay on some black 2K, it'll either make it stand out like dog's balls, sound effects, or it'll kind of like flood it, fill it up a little bit. But something I've got to remember when I lay things out here is to put things on either side of that chain, because if I open up that door after I've finished spraying, it drops little bits of chain grease and crap like that on there. I saw some little black things on here and I was wondering what it was, and I've noticed them on the roof of the 51 as well, and yeah, it's stuff from those chains. I have kind of given them a blow off with the old air gun at different times, but I'll have to be very aware of that when I'm putting more kind of finished coats on things, because, you know, try and minimise the amount of crap that I get in my paint. Try to anyway. Kind of. Okay, so it is actually got quite sunny out there now, so I might move these outside and let them kind of bake up in there, and I probably can't do much with them till tomorrow now anyway, because according to the TDS, and if you've got a bake oven, you can, at 60 degrees, you can recoat or sand in an hour or so. If you've got infrared, you can just kind of like zap it. If you've got just a garage at 25 degrees, then 24 hours is the recommendation. So if I can bake them a bit in the sun, and that means maybe tomorrow morning I can sort of sand them. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah, hopefully. Anyway, I'll chuck them on the back of the old bomb truck and yeah, take it from there. Okay, so kill rust. Got a couple of little brackets that primed in the black etch epoxy etch prime, which is actually part of this paint system. So I'm going to rattle can those rather than kind of have to strip all that off and do them when I do that. And then there's 2 less things that I have to, what do you want to call it, like paint black with the 2K stuff. Itching to have a crack at spraying something with the 2K, because I don't really have any experience with it other than primer. I've painted a couple of little things with it over the years, but like nothing much. But I'd like to learn the sort of systems and just see how it flows and behaves and that compared to other things that I've painted, if you know what I mean. Like, just do it more, like step into the 21st century, even though that's old tech and the paint systems are into waterborne and all that kind of shit now, which I know nothing about. So I just rattle can these and yeah, move ahead. Okay, so I actually didn't turn the camera on to rattle can those, so it doesn't matter. It's just kind of like this. And got 1 coat on there. According to this instructions, it says recoat in 16 hours. It's like, fuck at that. So I'll give it a few minutes and then I'll give them another coat. Shake it like you know it, baby. Come on and dance, man. Come on. Shake it like you know it, baby. Come on and dance. Okay, so when I said earlier that I was kind of like done for the day other than rattle canning a couple of brackets. I kind of got sidetracked and rattle canned a couple of bits that go down underneath as well, just because it means I've got less stuff to do tomorrow. I pulled the pieces into the bake oven and it worked a treat. Like, they were well cooked and kind of hot to the touch, so they were pretty well cured. So I just spent the last couple of hours rubbing them all back, getting them ready for paint tomorrow. And yeah, got it done. So yeah, tomorrow, hopefully, weather permitting, or even if it is a bit shit really, I think I'm going to just get ahead and paint them. I don't know whether it will affect it that much. I know it does with lacquer, Dulon, stuff like that. I know humidity and stuff can affect how quickly your paint kind of flashes off and stuff with these 2K paints and things like that, but I'll figure it out. But yeah, so this is where we're at. Come here. So that's all sanded back. The other one's up over there. Got a couple of little brackets that are all painted. They're all sitting there. Those ones with that slow drying shit that's hanging up out the back, just hopefully not get sort of dust and that on them. This one here, that was a bit ugly there, and I kind of forgot to do anything with it, so I just put a little bit of seam sealer on there to kind of fill up some of the ugliness and make it less ugly. And it's going to be well hidden anyway. It's under the battery tray and stuff like that, so not that that's an excuse, you know, like, don't want to kind of like be doing sort of bodgy work, but it's not that big a deal. Like I said earlier, this is I'm leaving some of the kind of, you know, the pressing marks and the spot weld marks and things like that in here. I'm not sort of laser straighting it. I mean, there's all these staple holes all the way around this thing from where the rubber gets stapled on or has been stapled on. Actually, I need to touch up a couple of bits of bare metal on there. And yeah, but I'm not sure if I've got all the rubbers, the anti-squeak rubbers that go around these things. I'll have to pull out the rubber kit that I've got and have a good dig through it and see what's there. Now that I kind of know what I'm looking for roughly, I think I may have some stuff there that I thought was for the fender skirts, which may actually be, you know, the anti-squeak rubber stuff. But what I was thinking of doing, if I haven't got it, is getting some like rubber vacuum hose or something and slitting it and kind of gluing it on there or something like that, you know. Maybe I'll have to have a look and see once it starts going together sort of how much tolerances and there is for kneading stuff like that, you know. I feel like it should have something because the factory put it there for a reason, keep some of the dust and dirt and stuff from coming up from underneath into the engine bay. But yeah, so that is where I'm going to stop for today, this time, promise. I'm just going to like do a bit of a vacuum, clean up a little bit, put some stuff away, and then yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, bright and early. Hey guys, so next day, it's not raining, which is good, but it's kind of been a bit misty foggy this morning. But plan for today is to paint all my pieces, those pieces, the inner fenders, the radiator support, and those little bobs that are sitting on the bench there, you know. Problem is that they're all kind of going to be painted double-sided, so I want to hang them all, you know, hang them from the ceiling. I don't have, you know, like those racks that they have in the fancy spray booths and shit like that. So my plan is I'm going to kind of put hooks and strings and shit like that off the ceiling and kind of hopefully be able to kind of hang everything up, and so I can get around it all and spray it all. Yeah, so that's my plan. Yeah, good plan. Just been down the hardware to buy some string and some hooks and eyelets and some like little shelf bracket things that I'm going to screw to the ceiling and and tie everything to. Yeah, so first up, I get this thing well bomb truck out of the garage. Ideally, I wouldn't mind getting this out of here as well. It'd be good if I could spread around, but don't know. We'll see how we go over in that side of the garage, and we might just kind of throw some drop sheets over this to, you know, protect it from any overspray and things like that. Yeah. Mind you, it could just be like passive shadow coating it, you know, passive guide coat, but we'll get the truck out anyways. Okay, so got my clothesline set up. Still got obviously a bit of dusting down to do. This is kind of stuck in that stuff. I've been over it with the old wax and grease remover and that as well, so it might just be rubbed in there. The wax and grease actually softened that stuff, which was interesting, I thought. So yeah, so this is my makeshift thing. I wouldn't even like glamorize it, call it a paint booth or anything. It's just kind of hanging up a bunch of shit in the garage in the hope that I can paint it before the string snaps and drops it all on the ground. That's my plan. So what's next? I've got a kind of final kind of wipe down, mix up the paint, and I've actually got a different spray gun. I'm gonna try. Oh, there's my wax and grease remover. I left it sitting over there. Yep. I've got a different spray gun that I bought for my kind of finished stuff. This is just a little bit nicer. Not really sure, I don't know that much about it actually. I did when I first was researching it to buy it, and now I can't really remember what I'm supposed to do with it, and why it's going to be better. But, I don't know, I'll just kind of like mix up some shit, throw it in it and point it around and see what happens. Yeah, I bought a new respirator. I was having a bit of trouble breathing out the other one. It was kind of like, right, going in, but it's breathing out. It was like sticking, so you kind of like, and it was just a pain. So, there we are. Next up, have a crack at shooting some of this black. Yeah. Okay, so painted. Did it go perfectly according to plan? No. Generally went okay. I got a bit of orange peel in the main shiny bits. I reduced my pressure and flow and stuff while I was doing all the little bits, and then I forgot, and then I kind of started hitting these and then realized that I was still running quite low pressure. So I kind of second coat tried to ramp it up, but then my compressor ran out of air, so I ended up with low pressure again. So I did a third coat on those inner fenders and these smoother pieces, the stuff that I had in epoxy. So I did 2 coats on everything else and 3 coats on that stuff anymore. I think it would probably get too heavy without longer kind of curing time. But where was I going with that? But yeah, 3 coats. So I know adding more paint to the problem is not going to solve it, but I thought if I kind of could wet it up enough without it running, it might flow over its drying period sort of thing. But this stuff actually gets kind of sort of dust dry in about 10 minutes, so you know, it kind of dries off. It's not too bad for my first kind of real shot at trying to lay down some 2K polyurethane, I think that's what it is, paint, you know, with a new spray gun. Never used that spray gun before. It's a LVLP, low volume, low pressure thingy bob. So yeah, and I think I'm so used to kind of spraying like lacquer thinner stuff these days. Even when I was spraying enamel back in the days, that was like 2 coats and that was it. That was your lot, you're done sort of thing. But we used to spray it at kind of like a milk-like consistency. It was quite relatively thin, if you know what I mean. We didn't use scales or measuring cups or nothing like that. We would pour some out, pour some thinners into it, mix it up, run it off a knife, and you'd look at it and stuff, you know. Whereas that's how I was taught with that stuff, and I learnt to know what I was looking for. With this stuff, I don't even know what I'm looking for when I'm mixing things, you know. So a bit of experience and time will tell. It does look like it's flowing out a bit. This piece here looked like that before, so it may flow out. It won't be flat, glass flat, but that's okay. That's why I wanted to paint these inner fenders and that, and I wanted to do it with a 2K urethane paint, whatever it is, because I just want to kind of have a go at it and see what it's all about. So one day maybe I could paint a whole car in modernish technology. But yeah, so it does look like it's flowing out. This was not too bad. It's a bit, yeah, it is pretty orange peely, but it's like I said, you know, there's little dings and dents and things like that in there. It doesn't worry me. I'm more about sealing it up so it doesn't rust and doesn't get like scody looking. But some people might say orange peel is scody looking. Have at it. I mean, these other bits up here, they come out quite nice. They're still, again, a bit orange peely. I had my pressure down because I was just blowing them around, so I turned the pressure down to paint these small bits so they didn't kind of get all blowed all over the place. I know the professionals often have them tied top and bottom, which is logical, but yeah, there we have it. That's my inner fenders painted and stuff. So now I just have to wait for them all to dry enough that I can at least take these 2 down and hang them somewhere else, because I'll still be able to back the bomb truck in over the top of the other stuff. But it's these big ones that I don't want to, you know, I have to kind of move them somewhere safe-ish. But I'll do that later on today when they've kind of hardened up a bit, and I can risk putting them somewhere or hanging them, maybe rearranging some of the stuff and hanging them further back, you know what I'm saying? So I can just leave them overnight until tomorrow. And tomorrow is actually Christmas here in New Zealand. I know my Christmas video's already come and gone. Today here right now is Christmas Eve, So Merry Christmas Eve and Merry Christmas for tomorrow anyway, even though I've already done all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but yeah, check it out. It's like my hanging garden. Okay, so anyway, just carrying on. On the whole, I'm happy enough with this stuff. I'm pretty happy. I know, you know, some folk would send that back, or they'd end up cutting and polishing and stuff, whereas I'm not going to cut and polish this. I'm going to leave it as it is. Surprisingly, I didn't get any runs, which is good, being a kind of a slower kind of paint system to what I've, you know, it's kind of in between of what I kind of know. Like enamel paint is real slow, lacquer is real fast as far as it's dry, you know, it dries off the gun, whereas enamel paint, like you put any more than 2 coats on and it all just ends up running. So yeah, but surprisingly it didn't get any runs, and even more surprisingly, in the kind of flatter surface things, it doesn't appear to be a lot of shit in the paint. Like, you guys have seen my dust-free environment that I work in here in the old DMAC Customs, and I mean, there's a couple of little bits up there, I don't know. Oh, there's a couple of little bits here and there, but not too much, all things considered. Like, you know, all things considered. Even the blowies are like just hanging around, the big blowflies, not the, you know what you're thinking, but yeah. So surprise, surprise. And these, like I said, these bits here, they come up, you know, okay enough. I mean, not only these bits here are tucked way down bottom of the engine bay, I think. The old radio support, it is what it is. It was all pitted and crusty and shit like that anyway, so I wasn't trying to, you know, achieve anything too fantastic without 40 hours of filling and sanding on a radiator support. You know, I just can't afford that time, you know. Much as I'd like to have everything like that, and then I would scratch it and ding it and bang it around when I get it, trying to put it in the car. Because nothing seems to quite fit how it fit when I was mocking stuff up as I'm putting this thing back together. But yeah, choice, another leap forward, happy with that. Well guys, that's where I'm going to leave this video on the DMAC Custom YouTube channel. Next time around, hopefully I'll be able to start bolting all that stuff onto the front of the 51. You know, area 51 that you're sitting on right now. I've ordered a bunch of like speed clips. Hopefully they'll be here by then, but it's Christmas shipping and deliveries and all that, you know, it's a bit here and there. Estimated time was anywhere from the 28th through to the 9th of January, so I don't know. The other thing I've got to work out is whether I've got the rubbers for the, the anti-squeak rubbers that go around various parts of the inner sheet metal and stuff like that, if you know what I'm saying. You'll see when we get there if you're following along. But yeah, so that's where we'll leave it for this video, I reckon. Yeah, so yeah, if you haven't subscribed, hit the button, subscribe, like, share, comment, chuck a comment down below in the comments box, let us know where you're from, what you're working on, that kind of stuff. Yeah, and so until next time, take it easy and peace. All tucked away. Why didn't anyone tell me I had paint all over my face? But yeah, new spray gun, new mask, definitely helped. Looking at the filters, yeah, wear one. If you got one, wear it. So yeah, anyway, rearranged, leave them up there to cure. It's pretty warm in here, so hopefully they'll cure up all good. They're all touch dry now. Just a little soft feeling, so it's good. Alright, okay, till next time, see ya.